Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kuzil Technologies. Yeah, we're doing a couple of these videos in a row. We did um, an episode yesterday, I believe. The day before that was a live stream, but 2 days before that was a live stream, and the live stream was done after the recording for yesterday's episode. But I have been doing an insane amount of work on this server. I actually stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning this morning just building some stuff. I didn't have to go to work today, and I was having a lot of fun. Had these ideas, and I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have a creative idea, your creative juices are flowing, and you just want to build. Well, that's what happened to me. Since I didn't have to go to work today, I was able to just stay up and get a lot done. So please forgive the yawns this morning. I got up about an hour and a half ago. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Polished off a couple things to get today's episode ready to go. And here we are. So what you have behind me is the portal room. And if you caught the live stream yesterday, if you didn't, the upload to that, the whole 2 hours of that was included in the YouTube channel there. So I built this thing behind me, and I'll show you that in today's episode. And we did a lot of work, like I said, 2 hours of streaming, and then I spent several more hours just polishing off a bunch of things on the base in the mining dimension. So I'll show you all of that, and I'm actually pretty proud of how this turned out, how a lot of this turned out. And thank you to my brother, who gave some fantastic suggestions for the base in the mining dimension. So really appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. And in today's episode, once I get done showing you everything that we've done, we have a storage problem, a big storage problem. So we're going to solve that problem today. I've got some solutions that you've seen before, but we'll do them again. All right, stick around. Here we go. Okay, so I've literally just turned around and changed my view here. So taking a look at this from a distance here, I wanted this to look like a bunker, like a little safety bunker, and I think it turned out super, super good. Like, I really like how this turned out. If you look at it from kind of like a higher up angle, it's got like this little circle deal on the top as part of the roof. And I think it looks pretty good. Maybe once I have flight, we can come back and take a look at that a little bit better. But yeah. So one of the parts that I'm particularly proud of are these pieces that don't mean anything right here. So I don't know if you noticed it, but these pieces right here don't do anything for the building, but they add a lot of depth that I wasn't expecting. I was going to do something completely different with them, but I decided to leave them there and then just cap them off. So yeah, they add like a I don't know. I don't even have any idea what that would be called, but they totally break up. I mean, it would look great without it, but they just add a dynamic part of it that I really like. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So the inside here, we've got ladders to go up if we need to go repair something. I could put those in the back here if I wanted to. But I did make this to go down. I was not able to find one of the resources that I wanted to find in the mining dimension. I don't know that it exists in the mining dimension. So I went and found it here in the overworld. So I just dug down to the bottom there and found some. And I'll tell you it's basalt. It's a darker color, and I needed it for one of my building projects. So we come in here. It's like an inner room where the portals are. My bed, a box with some stuff I need to take back to the mining dimension, and a crafting table. And then it wraps around this other way too. So it's kind of a tight space, but it's not too bad. And then up here on the top, there's just a little spot to hang out. And I like that this is half a window that you can see in and out of. I saw, before I put this other slab of dark oak here, I had the full pane that I could see through, in and out. And the looking in looked really weird, especially without that overhang. So I added the overhang there, and I think it looks a lot better with just a little piece, because we do have significant windows here. They're 2 by 2, and they can see not only into the inner chamber but into the portal on either side, and then on the back as well. So some people probably would like me to move this portal here over here, and I might do that. Just because we've got a portal over here and a portal over here, that would make sense. All right, let's head into the mining dimension and see the work that we've been doing. So first of all, I moved this down downstairs into the stairs that go down to the mine shaft, I guess. I don't know how to say that. I don't know what this is called. And up here where it used to be, we did something completely different. I made a thing in the middle. Now the idea during the stream was to turn this into a fountain, and I still may. The challenge would be, I think, to find a place to put the water. But what I would like to do is I would like to set my reactor on top of this, and it would just be like a huge reactor control stand. I don't know, but we could have like all kinds of gadgets and stuff attached to this to control the reactor on top of there. So that's the current idea. And then from there, above that will be the power storage unit, which is going to be huge, and that's going to be feeding our base. So I don't know if you remember, the original idea was that we were going to have the reactor in here, and then from the reactor we're going to pipe. We're going to build these. I'm going to build these huge pipes. One taking steam and the other one returning water to each of these different sectors. So if I have the reactor sitting on top of this, with the different materials coming down, we can bring them out, and this is just going to be graphical. So we can bring out them from anywhere on these sides and just kind of feed them off of there. So that would be really cool, I think. But yeah, this thing is surrounded by chests that are just full of stuff, and nothing is organized. Like, I've just been dumping stuff just to get it out of my inventory, because I know that I'm going to solve it in today's episode. Okay, one of the ideas that I had was initially to do a pattern. I saw this in a video on somebody online. They were one of the Hermitcraft guys, actually. I saw this and I was like, that is a great idea, putting stone slabs and polished andesite next to each other in like this checkered pattern here. So what I did was, excuse me, oh man, I should get some coffee. So what I did was I started working that in here, right? And this is going to be changed a little bit. We're going to bring a lot more detail around here. This is going to be pulled out quite a ways, because this is going to be three wide. But I wanted to get something in here based off of yesterday's episode. This was sprawling way out to there, and I compacted it a little bit. I'll show you that here in a second. So I was working on this when I started the stream, and then I started working on the design for the inner circle here, the inner room, the central hub, and I built these teardrops, is what they turned out to look like. I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, where was I? I think I was talking about the teardrops in the middle. I had the idea of making these teardrops, and they were quite a lot bigger. Those of you who were here for the stream yesterday might have noticed that they came out to right about here, I think. And sorry, my cat was just rubbing her face all over the pole. She likes to do that. get my attention. All right, so then I came over here and did these. I think I started with these, and these kind of look more like an arrowhead, and these look more like a teardrop. I could, if I wanted to, poke this out a little bit. So I didn't even think about this until just now. Could do that and make it look more like an arrowhead, but I don't know. I think I like the teardrop look here, because when you look at the mini map, if I zoom in a little bit, they look pretty cool, and I could round these off, actually. I could bring this in and make this look a little bit less arrowheady. No, I don't know. I'm not here to play around with a build design. So this is what we came up with, and I was filling this in with the checkered stuff, and my brother, who was watching the stream, suggested that we do different patterns, different checkered patterns in each wing. And the arrowheads and teardrops here in the middle would point to whichever wing it was that had that same pattern. And you'd put that checkered pattern inside of those, which I thought was a great idea. So we built this, and then we toyed around with this idea here. And I don't know why I had the idea of using diorite. Diorite's a really tough to build with component, but we used chisel, and we got a couple pieces here that look okay together. We put limestone next to them, and I feel like it pops pretty good. And the alternating dark and light centered diorite pieces look pretty cool. I think this is probably one of the better ones that we have, even though it uses diorite. This is one that we were really excited about. This is netherrack that had, it was a chisel recipe. So we combined this with the darkwood planks from Natura. Got a bunch of darkwood trees. We went into the nether and grabbed those. Had some adventure there. And so this one really is definitely the darkest out of all of them. It is the most unique because it's all blue, but it looks really good together. It's like a light blue and a dark blue. I think it looks pretty great. This one over here, we had sandstone to play with, and I wanted to do something with sandstone, and the Sakura planks look really good with it. I made a comment that this was straight out of the 70s. I don't think I'm wrong on that, but it still looks pretty good. Over here, we messed with using some ghost wood planks from Natura again, and then we combined that with the light gray concrete from vanilla Minecraft. The thing is, vanilla Minecraft's concrete is very flat in its texture, so I had to use chisel here to break up the texture a little bit to give us this pattern here. So filled that in. The next one here reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever had cherry chocolate chip ice cream. I absolutely did not want to use eucalyptus here, but I was out of ideas about what to use, and I still want to pull up the eucalyptus. This pink is just, I'm not a fan. But I am a fan of cherry chocolate chip ice cream, so that is one reason that I could keep this here. So if you like this, let me know. If you don't like this, I'm happy to rip up this. This is the basalt that I needed from the overworld. It is generated. It's part of what is basalt? Basalt is a chisel block. Okay. And it generates underneath lava. So all of the blocks that line lava from the level of the lava down are basalt in the overworld. So that's how I knew where to go get them. I looked here, couple different places where I saw lava. Actually had a couple, and they did not have any basalt. So I went to the overworld. That's why I dug down and turned that into a mine shaft a little bit, just in case there's more resources that we need to get down there. So maybe we can use something else here. So like the basalt and perhaps like if I do concrete, we could do another color, any of these other colors except pink. And then over here, I toyed with the idea of using grass. So I put down where these blocks are, I put down dirt and let the grass underneath it grow over top. And then I put in this coarse dirt, and that just looked terrible. Like, that was really bad. So I pulled that up, and I was like, okay, we haven't used birchwood anywhere, so let's put birchwood down. And then I thought, that's actually pretty yellow when you look at it. Birchwood a lot of times is used to be like a less yellow color than oak is. But at the same time, it is pretty yellow. So I was like, well, let's just put oak with it. And then I decided to use chisel to make these 4 dotted things. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And then lastly here we have marble, which has been chiseled into the big tile, I believe. And then polished granite. And I think that looks pretty good. So that's all the different colors. And I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So, and lastly, before we start getting into today's actual content, you'll notice that I rearranged everything in here. Yes, and I labeled some things. Okay, so let me show you how I set this up. We have initially at the top here, we have power. I don't know if I can turn that off. Let me go grab my... Power does not need to run to that. So let's see if I actually grabbed the right chest at the right time. That's amazing. I want to make sure that this doesn't connect. There we go. Just so that it looks neat. So basically what I have here is I'm going to put plant materials in here. I can just show you. I think you saw this yesterday how this all worked. But it'll be neat to kind of show you how. All right, let's grab a bunch of this. And what will happen is the plant materials get pulled out and stuck into the crusher, which turns them into plant materials. I have not even told it how to do that yet. So this is dark green. Let's grab one of these out. Actually, I should just set a default. There we go. Because everything I put in here is going to go into this crusher. So this crusher is going to make its noise and dump all of its stuff into the chest when it's done. And I like how this worked out here. So at the back of these chests, I've got a logistical sorter that sticks out one. And then I decided to go one, you saw me do this yesterday, kind of by accident. A logistical transporter here, a logistical sorter, and a chest. So that way these both can kind of feed into each other, into a central system. So then what I did was I colored the fuel has to go into the top, and the power comes out the back of these generators. Well, then I went underground with it. So I believe right underneath me here is the basic energy cube. And what this is set up to do, this is the front. So the front is set to output, and so I have everything except the crusher being fed from the energy cube there. So the only time that that's going to be an issue, and I was trying to avoid that when we first set this all up, was when we're going to want to upgrade those cables. But I think the system has I think Mekanism has an interesting way of replacing all of those. I think you just right click on them and it swaps them out. I think that could be Ender IO. I can't remember. Anyway, so I colored these. Coal's going to go into here from this chest, so let's actually take that off. If we decide to do that. I don't think that we'll ever do that. But for now, we're just using plant materials because it's super efficient. It produces a lot of power. And yeah. So then over here, yesterday we had to set 2 chests up like this. So I decided just to dedicate this top one here to making steel. Whenever I need to make steel, I'll dump iron into here. Whenever I need to make literally anything else with these metallurgic infusers, I'll dump them in here. So alloy, any alloy goes in here. Any kind of thing that I want to crush goes in here. Actually, that's going to be pretty difficult because at some point we're going to want to do steel. We could put steel in there and it would feed. But then we're going to want to do osmium as well. And that's going to be a problem because we already have osmium being used here. So we'll have to use osmium up here for the upgrades. So if we want to crush osmium, we'll have to use this one. If we want to turn it into the circuits, we'll have to use this one. So we'll just have to remember which is which. But basically, this is exactly the same as how we set it up yesterday in terms of functionality. I put in iron here, and out comes steel. Okay, I put in coal, redstone, and I get compressed coal and redstone, and those go into the respective chests. So I've got coal going in here. These are all fully filled up with the liquid redstone and then the compressed redstone blocks. So we've got plenty to work with for a while. So in yesterday's episode, I didn't have them set up in so where they were on either side of a chest, but that after looking at how well this system worked here, I decided to go with that. So that's basically what we have. We've got the logistical sorters basically on either side of a central feeding tube, and then we've got chests that look kind of at each other. So how this works is instead of going the iron, this is where we make our steel. Instead of the iron going from here and then feeding directly into here, it goes into the chest, gets pulled out, refined into the other piece of dust, and back into here. And then from there, it gets pulled out and sent into the energized smelter. Now, I liked having the energized smelter and the enrichment chamber here, just in case I wanted to work with them for whatever reason. And they would just dump back into this chest. And this is nice because the only thing that's going to get pulled out of this chest is these two things, anything that I tell it, really. So I can use these all I want, and these are powered and connected to our power system. So if I want to set up a hopper or something and feed a bunch of stone into here, I can do that. No big deal. That's awesome. And we can always upgrade these into iron chests or something if I need to make them a little bit bigger. So that's that. And then I moved over here the ore tripling system, and I'm interested to see how this works because I haven't actually used this yet. And let's go around the back. This is where all my resources are. Let's grab some iron here. Not that we need ingots, I just want to make sure that the system works well. Okay, so we've got our purification chamber, which requires oxygen. That's dumping into the crusher, which is dumping into the enrichment chamber, then into the smelter, and lastly into our chest. Okay, so now in the back here, historically, what I've had to do is I've had to pipe in the oxygen from the electrolytic separator into the purification chamber, and I haven't been able to set it up in a way where it looks pretty good and is compact like this. So what I did was, we know that this comes out the side here. I set up the purification chamber to accept the fusion material, whatever this is called, from the back. And so this, since the oxygen dumps out the right, I'm hoping that this goes directly into here. If not, then we just need to scoot this over one and pipe it in. But let's give it a shot. Yep, that's totally working. That's great. So that's a super compact way to do it. So the pump is down one. It's actually just below the, right on the same level as the power, which is perfect because it attaches the power, and the water is right below that. One mechanical pipe to bring the water up into the electrolytic separator. And that is a super compact way to do it. Very efficient. Now I can use those pipes for something else. But anyway, now we can decorate this, right? Now we can put like a stair over top of this so that it's upside down stairs or something. Put a wall here, and then bring a wall just so that we don't have to look at all this piping if we don't want to. So it's all automated, which is great. And I brought the digital miner over here just because when it's not in its form, you can't really see it. So I like keeping it down somewhere. And we don't really have... We've got so much resources that I'm not really interested in dealing with a bunch of chests everywhere. So that's why it's sitting over there, just kind of not doing anything at the moment. I don't want to lose it, right? Since it doesn't have like a graphical icon at the moment, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose it. So I'm going to keep it down there. All right, let's get into what we're actually here to do today. Please let me know what you guys think about everything. So the bunker in the overworld, the reactor stand here, the different colors that we've chosen. You were here for, my brother was here for most of them. I'm interested to see what he says about these last two color palettes that I've picked out. Chocolate chip cherry. Oh yeah, that might be my favorite wing. Eventually, not right now, but it might turn out to be. All right, so I've got just stuff strewn everywhere. Maybe we'll. I have it set up that way just because I have nowhere else really to put it. But I do want to get into RF tools, modular storage. Yes. I don't know if you saw this coming, but I don't think, actually we could get into applied energistics. That could be a better solution. We have quite a lot of the crystals, Yeah, we have plenty to get into refined storage. So let's start getting into that. I did take quite a long time with the intro here, so hopefully the video doesn't go too long. I know you don't mind, but just saying. Okay, as with refined storage, so think of applied energistics and refined storage as being similar in function, very different in application. Well, not very different. I should say similar in purpose. So they both serve the same kind of purpose where there's importers, exporters, there's you turn the items into data disks and store the items as data. You can take those disks and transport them everywhere. Applied Energistics was the original idea for all of that. Applied Energistics 2 is a successor to that, made by the same guy, I believe. So there are lots and lots of interesting ideas with this. Instead of using, it is a little bit more difficult to get into, but if you've set up the digital miner like I have, then you'll have a lot of resources. Some of the feedback that I've been getting from the videos is that I wish that I had built the same stuff that you had built when you built it. And yeah, you should. So if you haven't been playing this yet, well, I don't think anybody's been playing this yet. I don't know that I've helped anybody install this on their computers. I should probably, I gave the mod list on the very first episode, and all you do basically is you go into Twitch, create a custom pack, and then open up that list on the very first episode. It's in the notes, it's in the description. Just scroll down. It's a huge list. Add all of those mods to your mod pack, and it should work. So hopefully you can do that and play along. That'd be kind of fun. But yes, definitely do what I do when I do it, so that we're playing together, because if you try and skip ahead, you're not going to find yourself having enough resources. And after we get storage solution implemented, we're going to start working on power, because right now we don't have a lot of it, and we have enough to do what we need to do, but I need to start speeding up my machines so that they work a lot faster, which means that we're going to need more power. So let's get into applied energistics. So the first thing you're going to want to make is what's called an inscriber. Now there's a couple mods that we have on here. There's applied energistics, and then there's something called AE2 stuff. AE2 stuff takes some of the more challenging mechanics of applied energistics and streamlines it a little bit. Now, I don't know what the mod author thinks of this, but some of these things here, I think the applied energistics 2 author should implement these 3 blocks here specifically. And more importantly, these 2 blocks are just fantastic. Okay, so we're going to need our power over there. And I think what I would like to do is hook up a power cell. Power cell. I think I looked at making these the other day, and yeah, emeralds was my holdup. I don't have emeralds. Okay, so we will need to directly access our power for some of this stuff. So the first thing that you're going to want to make is what's called a meteorite compass. Now this compass here takes a charged Certus quartz, and you just find that throughout the world. It's the rarer of the two Certus quartz. You're going to find Certus quartz here in bunches. So like I've got 4 stacks of it and only 15 charged Certus quartz. So that's pretty tough. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is grab some iron and head back to the overworld and hope that it is not nighttime. It is nighttime. Okay, and I've got some iron here somewhere. There we go. You can't do much in applied energistics until you have the meteorite compass. And even then, you're going to want to explore the overworld quite a lot. So let's head to the overworld. We'll sleep. I've been having this glitch with my bed where when I sleep, it keeps me in the bed. So if it does it again, I'm going to cut the video and come back in a little bit. Yep, it did it again. So, oh, no, it didn't. Yes, it did. Okay. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so I'm bringing you in because my compass is spinning. I would have done this with you on camera, but since the game crashed on me, I decided to do this once I found what I was looking for. So the compass here points to some resources that you're going to need to collect in the world somewhere. Now, if you look at the compass that you're holding in your hand versus what's going on here in the hotbar, don't pay attention to what's going on in the hotbar. Pay attention to what's going on in your hand. You see the little blue indicator? The little blue piece of what I'm holding in my hand. If I stick it in my offhand, it might be a little... Nope. It's literally the same. I wonder if I could change my field of view here. What am I looking for? Those video settings. Maybe not. No, I don't want to change field of view. I want to change my... Yeah, I thought it was in here. And I wanted to make it so that the... Oh, right here. Holy cow, I don't want that one. Small, normal. Let's do normal. Okay. Now you're not necessarily seeing what's in my hotbar. You can see what's going on with the compass a little bit better. I'll change it back here in a minute. But okay, so you see how the blue kind of points this direction, and if I'm looking this direction, it's saying, hey, turn around, go this direction. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow it until it starts spinning crazy like this. Now what you can do is you can either zoom in with your mini map. That I'm using the plus and minus button on my mouse, but it's the same as the keyboard. Or you can hit F9 twice, which is what I like to do, and find the chunk borders. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to dig around in this chunk until you find something. So what I'd like to do is I like to dig down. Sometimes what you're looking for can be pretty small. Other times it takes up the whole chunk. But what we're looking for, we're gonna mine the... I hate gravel. The Matic does not consider gravel to be part of its stuff that it can mine quickly, which is super annoying because it clearly says in the tooltip that it's same as a shovel. Oh, I almost jumped in there. That freaked me out. Okay, kind of knew that was coming because of the... Wow. Okay, I think it's time to I think it's time to change that UI back. Holy cow. Large. All right, that's what I'm used to. I'd like to start learning how to play with the normal being small UI like that, but I don't think anybody else is used to watching that on YouTube, so I'm not necessarily gonna do that. Now hopefully this doesn't mess with us too much. I'm just going around the border of the chunk, digging down in like a really obnoxious stair pattern here. But what we're looking for is we're looking for a sky block, and what it is described, I think originally was as being a meteorite. How a meteorite got buried underground is beyond me. I think it would just be better to say that it's a spawned something, which is what kind of I think what they do. All right, so we found a cave. That's okay. Oh, it's not. It's not. Oh, it is a full cave. Great. Okay. Well, hopefully we don't have to deal with too many bad guys. So this right here isn't any slower than using the Matic, which drives me crazy. Hopefully we don't have to dig underneath all this stuff. I'm gonna vein mine it if we do. So that is one benefit of grabbing a shovel over the Matic right there is gravel. I will know that for the future. It'd be nice if this stuff wasn't all the way down to bedrock. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this, show you what you're looking for in this, and then break and go find the others, because there are 4 materials that you're looking for that are only found inside these skystone spheres. And to be honest, this is kind of an annoying part of applied energistics. One of the reasons why I like refined storage as much as I do. Oh, I am down to bedrock. Are you kidding me? Okay. Well, let's go to the middle of the chunk-ish and start digging over. Because what I might have to do is... that's the middle of the chunk. I was pretty close. What I might have to do is break and just kind of vein mine this whole thing, go repair my tool a bunch of times, and come back until I find it. Having it be an unknown size anywhere in a chunk is pretty rough. I think that's the middle, and it's not going to be... yeah, that's the middle. And it's definitely not on this level. Most of the time, this is a pretty good size, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. In fact, what you probably could do is just kind of dig straight down the middle, and you'll find it more often than not, which is probably what we're going to have to do if I can't find it. Here we go. Here it is. Okay, skystone. All right, let's dig around and find it here a little bit. Now, the odd part is that it's usually not centered in the chunk. And if you're watching this video and you're still early game, you may not be able to mine this. This is cobalt level mining. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm looking for the middle, which I think is right here. Sure enough. Okay, so these are generally spheres that we're looking at. So that's how big this thing is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the side there and go down the middle. And it's okay to dig straight down. So what we're looking for is when the texture changes from this, because all of the skystone blocks look like this, and it's going to end up looking, it's going to be different. It's going to be a lighter color that's square. And you can take a look at your, actually this isn't large. My UI did not change. There we go. Auto. That's what I want. Okay. The one probe in the top left-hand corner tells you that this is a skystone chest. So we want to right-click on this, and I don't want the lead nugget, but this is the inscriber. There's 4 of these. There's, if I come over here and do press, there's the inscriber, which is, I think, the basic one. Inscriber, oh, what do I have here? Engineering. Okay, so that's right. There's the logic, which is the basic. Then there's engineering, which is mid-tier, and then calculation, which is the higher tier. And then silicone is also something that we're looking for. So we're looking for these. That's new. That's cool. I'm interested to see what that is. So we're looking for all 4 of these. We need this one, this one, this one, and this one. So unfortunately, we only found one in this skystone sphere. So now the difficult part then is to reset your compass so that it looks for something else, because right now it's still saying that there's something here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to vein miner all of this skystone block out of here. And I believe once I do that, then this no longer identifies this chunk as having anything that we need. So right now it's not spinning like crazy anymore, and it's pointing toward the next area. So what I would recommend for you, if you're playing along, make sure that you at least have a cobalt pickaxe. I say at least, that's like the highest tier pickaxe, because you're going to want to vein miner the entire chunk, the entire deal. Let's turn these back off. I'm going to head back, sleep again. Hopefully my game doesn't crash. Actually, I'll probably just make another bed. Right here. Because I can. And just take that with me. I want that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and break here yet again. I'm going to go around the world and find the other pieces, and I'll kind of mark them on my mini map to show you where they are. I'm going to go get some more food, repair my pickaxe, go find all those things, and then I'll come back. Oh dear, I want all this. Get out of here, both of you. Alright, I found the 4. You don't necessarily need 2 of any of these, so if you do find duplicates, you can just stick them in a chest. Whatever. I'm going to take the rest of these. I've got a couple of these skystone chests. They're pretty decent chests. They're pretty big. And I've got a bunch of skystone back at the bunker. But yeah, so that took me probably 30 minutes. The most annoying part is that these don't spawn at a specific spot in a chunk. And you're not guaranteed to track down the one that you're missing. We still don't have the name press. I'm not even sure what that is for, like I said earlier. It's a new block to me. But I'm going to head back to the base, and I will see you there. Alright, now that we're back at the base, and we have our presses with us, let's get them sorted out. Silicone, logic, then engineering, and then calculation. Actually, it could be the other way around. Calculation and then engineering. So, how you know what this is basically sand. It turns it into silicone. Gold, diamond, gold, quartz, Certus quartz, charged Certus quartz, I think. Or pure Certus quartz. And this is diamond, so this is the highest tier one. Think of these as being, I think we dealt with silicone in refined storage, but we had the 3 different tiers of I forget what they were, and I don't believe I brought refined storage onto this. No, because I wanted to specifically play with this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make the I'm going to say that the next thing you're going to want to do is make a charger. To do that, you're going to need to find a couple of charged Certus quartz in the world, so you're going to have to find one for the compass anyway. But let's just hope that you set up a digital miner, and you're doing just as well as me right now. Let's grab some more of, let's grab 5 of these. And let's grab some more charge Certus quartz. Now you saw here with the charger, this turns regular Certus quartz into charged Certus quartz, which is nice. This is going to take what's called Fluix crystal or pure Fluix crystal. I'm going to wait until it says Fluix crystal and then click on that. And then come over here to the I information. Drop 1 charged Certus quartz, 1 nether quartz, and 1 redstone into a puddle next to one another, and wait a moment to receive 2 Fluix crystals. So we're just going to take 1 charged Certus quartz, 1 redstone, and then we're going to have to, I'm going to have to spend some time between this episode and next in the nether. Don't know where all of my nether quartz are. That's kind of one of the reasons we're doing this. Okay, then we're going to grab some water, and it can be a single block. I have a bucket of water here somewhere, I thought. Maybe not. Not. Okay, let's go grab some water. There's some decently close over here. And we are going to automate this. That's been one of the challenges of when I've been playing this, is how to automate all of these interesting systems that he's got going on here. So we have to, the same thing with, what was that other mod we were messing with? Woot. Okay, so we have to interact with the world. So we have to eject items out into the world. That's pretty easy. The vanilla can do that. And then we need to detect when a change has been made in a block, and or just suck up like a specific item from an area. So I'm going to drop these in here. Charge Certus quartz, redstone, nether quartz. And those get turned into Fluix crystals. And we're going to actually need a lot of Fluix crystals, but I don't know if you saw the pure Fluix crystals on there. We're going to try and make those. Those are going to take quite a lot more effort, but they yield double what we just did. So instead of, let me show you. Go back to the charging station here. I'll click on the pure Fluix crystal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, you can enrich, what? That's pretty cool. Okay, well, to get this Fluix seed, you get Fluix dust, and you just put that basically into a grinder. So each Fluix dust gives you 2 seeds, I believe. Yeah. So you take these Fluix crystals, grind them into Fluix dust. That gives you 2 Fluix seed. Let's go do that. I'm curious if that actually works. If so, that's a new thing. That is new and awesome, and we don't need to figure out anything. Let's stick this in the crusher. Hopefully that turns that into dust, and then the idea then is to attach that to sand. We're going to automatically double our stuff already. Yeah, 1 piece of sand. Okay, let's take that and we'll just add that to the system. Okay, I think I've got some sand here somewhere. Man, I seriously cannot wait to get this all set up. Could grind down some gravel into some sand. Here we go. Turn this into sand. I'm sorry, turn this into Fluix crystals. That'll give me 4. And then according to JEI, I can just stick this in an enrichment chamber. Maybe it will need to be fed a couple times. Because if this goes straight to a pure Certus quartz, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Okay. What color is this? I don't even know. Where is the... dark blue. Okay, so we're going to do dark blue. Set those in there. And now we're going to take this and move this over to black. And then I'm going to go make another pair of Fluix crystals. That's crazy to me. Before you had to do something completely different. This crystal growth accelerator. And even before that, what you had to do is you had to take those seeds, drop them into a thing of water, and then you had to wait for like 2 hours before they were crystals, fully grown crystals. And that was just, that mechanic sucked. I didn't understand why he did that. All right, let's grab some more here. Charge Certus quartz. And then nether quartz. We'll dump those all into here. Okay, pick that up. And then let's stick this in our filter. We're going to add, let's go back. I think red is what we're looking for. Now the only stuff that we're going to have to do in between is we'll put the quartz in there. That'll get crushed into dust. The dust will show up here. And then we can use that dust with some sand to turn it into the seeds. Stick the seeds back in here. Those will get turned into the pure Fluix crystals and then get sent over here. So if any of you are watching that have played with the other, like just the applied energistics that I was talking about a minute ago, will know that what just happened is just blows everybody. It's still blowing my mind, and I'm stumbling all over my words because I'm trying to wrap my head around what just happened. Okay, so this is going to have to go on a power cable somewhere. And for now, we'll just stick it... No, we won't. Perfect. We'll just stick it here. Okay, so now that should be getting power. Right? I don't think so. Maybe not. We'll find out. I think maybe you have to attach it to an AE2 cable instead of refined storage cable. So let's grab the regular quartz and see if this does anything. It should change fairly quickly. But if my memory is starting to wind here, and I'm pretty sure you can't just plug it into power. Yeah, you can. All right, cool. My memory was wrong. Okay, so that's pretty neat. Anytime we need a charged Certus quartz, we just toss it in here, and it will turn it into a charged Certus quartz for us. That's pretty great. Okay, the next thing we're going to want to take a look at is these inscribers. These inscribers take a Fluix crystal, some sticky pistons, and we're going to want to make a few of them. But for now, let's just make... Yeah, we're going to need to make 5 of them. So that means I need 10 slime balls. Let's grab some dirt. A lot of dirt. And do I have a chest that I'm not using at the moment? Okay, let's stick these in here. We'll dump all the rest of this. Do I have any more torches lying around? Oh dear, this is a mess. Okay, let's head over to the slime islands here and grab some slime balls. Now, what's probably going to happen when I'm over here is I'm going to have, oh, we got 3 islands? Look at all these guys just falling all over the place. I'm afraid that if let's just go here. As I come up, something's going to spawn, land on my head, knock me off. But we've got water near us, so maybe we can survive. I love these slime islands. Man, this is so tall. Look at him go. How did he not jump off on my side? The sucky part is I gotta look down. And these guys are like... ready to be killed. I saw them like just sitting there. Let's take some trees down. Yeah, we get some green slime down on the ground. And we'll just grab some of this. Now, here's a question. Should I try, because I think these let you, like you can fall like as far as you want, land on a slime block, and survive. The question is, if I were to jump off of here, I'm not going to. If I were to jump off of here and try and put a slime block down before I hit the ground, would I survive? We'll keep that in mind in case something decides to jump on my head and knock me off of this pillar. That'll be our backup plan. Or if something derps, like these blocks don't... Oh my goodness. That would be a good reason to get away from here. Do you see all those guys? Wow. That's a lot of bad guys. That's a lot of bad guys. Slime block islands are dangerous. I don't think we're going to be able to get to storing stuff today, but I wanted to get far enough that you could get an idea. You can get started on your own thing. But definitely install the mod pack if you haven't yet, because we're going to be playing with this mod pack for a long time. There's more to do in this one than there is in the farm pack, because once you get all of the cows, once you get all of the chickens, you get them automated, all of the crops. What else is there to do, really? And this one though, we have lots to do. Okay. What was I doing? Inscribers. I need to make 10 of these. So let's grab some coffee's wearing off. Need to take another drink. There we go. Grab some redstone. And we'll make 10 slime block, or 10 sticky pistons. By the way, I really enjoyed streaming yesterday. I have an idea that I would want to do that more often. So if you enjoyed watching the stream, or if you missed it and would like to see one, let me know. With the full-time job, I'm going to be able to stream during the day, probably a little bit, and then I work this second shift, so that will be a little bit more challenging to maybe some of you to see it, because it'll be streaming during the day instead of the evening, but you never know. Okay, so I need 5 of these, so let's grab some more sand. And where was that sand? Is it around the corner here? Yep. should be able to just stick these in here. Yep. And get our pure fluix crystals out. So we just doubled that, which is great. We're gonna need 5 of these. How the inscriber works is, once you connect it to power, and I believe it has to be, nope, can't be that. I think it just has to be normal power. We should probably extend our power out a little bit, and then just put a bunch of, I'll just do what I did last episode, where I kind of put it all together sloppily, and then kind of design a better system later. My presses, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, and then we're gonna want some more sand. I need to set up like a sand generator. Take cobblestone, stick it in a crusher, it turns into gravel. Put that gravel back into the crusher, and it becomes sand. That's what I need to do. Okay, there's our 5 inscribers. Now, if I were to put these down here and run power to them, the reason I made 5, you could just make 1. If you don't have all the resources that I have at the moment, you could just make 1, but you're going to have to pull out the press and change it to whichever one you want to need, and I'll tell you what that means here in a minute. Okay, just run this underneath all the way across. If we can, we might not have enough. Yeah, we do. Cool. Okay, these should have power in them now. And what you do is you put like the silicone press in this one, and it tells you where to put it. You have to put it, I think, there. So logic goes there, calculation next, engineering, and then there's a blank one. And to make a circuit, so now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make the controller. Okay, so remember in refined storage, we could just make the controller. We would just make, I think it was quartz iron or something like that. Quartz enriched iron. And then we could make the controller. Well, now we have to do all of this other stuff in Applied Energistics to get started. Well, once we have all of this other stuff, it lets us kind of catapult forward into Applied Energistics. So my goal is to make one of these, and then we'll stop for the episode. So we want to make an engineering processor. In order to do that, we need to squish diamond with the engineering press, and we need to get some, which we have diamonds, redstone, and then we need some silicone. Now silicone can come from 2 different places, Ender.io and Applied Energistics. The recipe for this is to smelt Certus quartz dust or nether quartz dust, and of course to get these you just stick them into a crusher. So let's see, is there any other way? Certus quartz is a limited resource, so is nether quartz, but we are going to be sticking our what's this last option? Crushed quartz, quartz powder. Yeah, okay. We're just going to use regular quartz, Certus quartz rather, because we have a lot of that. We have a lot more of that than we do regular quartz. Pure skystone, and then we need some more, let's see, let's grab 2 more of those. Where'd my bucket of water go? I stick it up here. Here. We're gonna make some more. So skystone block here. We got a bunch of that from our hunt for. Oh, did I leave that in the other realm, or did I bring some with me? I might have brought some with me. Yeah. So we're gonna smelt that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to crush down, and I'm just going to hop over here and have it do it. Crush down one of these Certus quartz. I want you to smelt 4 of these skystone. And then I'm going to grab this bucket of water here. And we're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2. That should give us a bunch of this. Okay, now we need to smelt down this Certus quartz into, oh, does it have a chance? It used to have a chance. I don't know if it does anymore or if it's 100% now. Looks like it's 100%. It used to be you put sand into a sag mill. Yeah, like this. This is how you, or clay. I think it used to be sand. And this is how you got silicone, but not really anymore. All right, that should be 100%. Okay, skystone block is done. And our silicone is done. Now we come over to our silicone press. Okay, and put this in here, and that should start working. As long as it's got power, it's going to turn that into a silicone press. Now let's grab a diamond. Pick this back up. Put you back in there. We'll have a proper place for all of this stuff for sure. So if like all of this running around OCD is bothering you at all. This is bothering me a lot. I don't know if you I've mentioned it a couple times. There we go. Right there. Now this does have a really cool animation. Once you stick the diamond in here to the engineering press, right here, and you take a look at it, the diamond's sitting in the middle, and then it squishes it and turns it into the circuit. Okay, so now we take the silicone press on the bottom, the circuit that we want, the specific circuit that we want at the top, and then the redstone in the middle. And we can actually see all those pieces, and now they're squished together. Now we have our engineering processor. So now we just take this over to, how's our Certus quartz doing? Our flukes. Hello? Oh. I think we need to make some more of these. Because I think the recipe here, no, not in that one. The recipe here was for 4 of those. Yeah. So these will be done here pretty soon. And we'll have our controller. This is all the hardest part of getting started with Planet Logistics, is getting the charged Certus quartz. Luckily we had 16 to start with from our digital miner, and that tells you something. Out of 20,000 blocks, I think we said we had 4,000 left. So out of 16,000 blocks, it only grabbed 16 charged Certus quartz. So on average, for our experience, we have 1 charged Certus quartz for every 1,000 blocks. So they're pretty rare. Hopefully that doesn't discourage you. Anyway, there's our controller. And what we do with the controller is we just attach it to power. And then it starts being all colorful and everything, just like the controller from refined storage. And now we can start running cable off of this. We can start putting in like the same thing here with the ME drive. ME would be the ME stands for something. So this is the same as the disk drive for refined storage, and then we can do these storage disks, storage cells, 64K storage cells. The same concept, same idea. It takes all of these previous steps to get there. We're going to make one of those and dump everything we own into it in the next episode. Okay, well that's going to wrap it up for today. I really enjoyed all of the work that I've been doing on this map. All the building. When you live in a building that actually looks pretty cool, it feels better, I think. I watch some YouTubers and they don't actually care. And I've definitely played some where the design of my buildings are pretty raw, like just boxes. It helps a lot when there's some design to it, and there's some depth and contrast and all that stuff. It just feels more alive, and it makes me want to come back to the game a little bit better. So thank you for all the help that you gave in the stream the other day, and thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you in the next one. You guys take care. Bye bye.